Hello Fish Fools, Jeff here. So I have another package. I ordered some more plants online from Aquarium Co-Op and we're going to do an unboxing. So I just received an order from Aquarium Co-Op 2 days ago and here we go, I have another. So why the hell didn't I order them everything all at once in one order? Well, it's all because of one plant, one particular plant species that I wanted, and here's my 29-gallon swordtail community tank. We'll just look at this while I ramble on a little bit. So, I wanted to get some plants. I placed my previous order, and there's one particular plant that I wanted that wasn't available at the time of the initial order. And as I was checking the tracking status of the first order, while doing that on the Aquarium Co-op website, I just browsed through the plants again, and all of a sudden the one particular plant that was not available was available, and I had to jump on it because I have been checking. It's a plant that I've wanted, and it has not been available for quite a while, or at least whenever I tried to look for it, it hasn't been. And I figured it wasn't going to last long, and sure enough, as I was checking the status of this second order, it wasn't available after that. So it was really just that one plant that I wanted led to all the other plants. So from there I just kind of started clicking buttons, trying several plants that I've never had before. I just figured since I'm gonna be placing this order, I have my 84-gallon aquarium coming soon. I'm gonna need some plants for that, so I thought I'd try some new plants and get some more. So all right, enough of rambling there. Let's get started on opening the box. Alright, so again, I've cut it open so I can access it. And the packing slip is going to be right there on top. I'm going to just grab it so we can't see it, so we can kind of, as a surprise, look through the plants one by one. Alright, so we didn't get to see that. And one thing I noticed, I'm gonna just pause for a moment, take out the paper so we don't hear the crinkling sound. I noticed, like, watching my previous video doing that might be an annoying sound, so stand by. Alright, so that was just pretty much skipping ahead 5 seconds to avoid that sound, so let's go through, and I can already see this is the plant that I've been wanting. Label upside down. CRINUM CALAMISTRATUM. So altogether there should be 6 plants, well 7 plants, 6 species, because this is the plant I got twice over. So I mentioned I'm getting that 84-gallon tank. That's a tank I've wanted for years, and now that I moved to my house, I can finally get that, because I couldn't get it in my apartment, and I always imagined having a CRINUM CALAMISTRATUM when I get a big tank. So here we are, but I did get 2, so I'm going to put one in the 40-gallon I just set up, and then this will be for the 84-gallon. So yeah, and this is the plant that led to all the others. So let's see what else we have. A red melon sword. This will be the first time with this plant. Well, yeah, everything in here will be the first time. So yeah, so it'll be the second sword plant that I'll have ever tried. I've had Amazon sword, and I did just get another Amazon sword from the last Aquarium Co-op plant order. I'm trying this for the first time, or another sword plant. So and dwarf hairgrass. So, I mean, I've thought about getting this in the past. So, you know, while I was in button clicking mode, going through, you know, browsing through the site, I ended up clicking on this, and we'll try this in both the new 40 gallon that I set up and when I get the 84 gallon. And a Scarlet Temple. So this is a plant that is a little more red. It's a stem plant. So I haven't had much, if any, well, I really haven't had tried any like red type plants. Well, maybe Ludwigia repens, but aside from that, this will probably be like the second time trying any type of reddish plant. Well, that and I guess this red melon sword. And another CRINUM calamistratum. So one for the 40 gallon and one for the 84 gallon that's coming. And Hydrocodal tripartita, Japan. So this is like a clover plant. This, my previous order, I actually did have this in my cart, but I ended up taking it out because I kind of thought that, you know, maybe it might not be that good of an idea the first time when I got it or had it in the cart, thinking about it, because I think it would need a little higher light, maybe CO2, which I don't plan on. I'm not going to be injecting CO2, and it won't be high light either, maybe medium light. But then when I removed it from the first order, and I was watching happened to watch another Aquarium Co-Op plant unboxing video, and then I just thought, oh, you know what, I should have just gotten that. And then, so I did end up getting it this next time, thanks to the CRINUM calamistratum. And this should be the last plant in here. Dwarf chainsword. So I figured with my 40 gallon tank, as I mentioned when I was setting that up, I had like layers of different substrate, and one of the layers being eco-complete, but I only put that underneath in certain areas of the tank. So I thought maybe I'd get some crypts to plant in the substrate where that is, but I think instead this will be kind of like a lower plant that I'll be putting in that part. I'll show you what I mean when I put it in there. All right, and there's one other thing that should be in here. Oh, there's that paper sound, so I'm going to pause for that again. Stand by. All right, so we have a bottle of Easy Iron. So this will be the first time trying this. So with the Scarlet Temple plant, maybe the red melon plant will like this, and even other plants. And I do have Ludwigia repens, a stem right there. So, and it should help with other plants that aren't red anyway. So I've already have Easy Green, Aquarium Co-Op plant fertilizer, and my previous plant order I got some more Easy Green, and I already have a bottle of that, so I'll have enough for a while. And then thought I'd try this. And then the last thing in here is this sticker. So you may know that they add stickers as a little, just like little collector's items. It's a nice touch. I do like how different aquarium supply places provide little things, actually like Super Cichlids. I ordered from them a few times. They add little Swedish fish, and I kind of like that. Like, you know, so one thing that Aquarium Co-Op does is stickers. I know, like the fish keepers, like on YouTube, the fish tube they call it, or the fish fam, are into stickers. I'm not really so much, but it is, you know, a nice little thing that they do. And this is a betta. So the previous order came with a discus sticker, and I commented how I'm not really into discus, and it'll be, you know, I exaggerated that if I'd get 100 tanks, do different things with 100 aquariums before I ever got discus. Maybe my 101st tank I'd get discus. You know, that essentially means I have no desire to get discus. But with betta, I have thought about getting a betta. I haven't kept one yet. I kind of don't like them, but and there is a little part of it that I do like. I don't like this much finnage. So I wouldn't want to get a betta like this. I mean, the color is cool. I'd love to, you know, blue like that with a sort of like an orange outline. But just watching betta with huge fins like this and watching them swim is just, to me, it's not fun to watch. It's just watching them like struggle to swim. Like, even, you may know I love guppies, but guppies that are too fancy with their finnage, I don't like it. You may, if you're familiar with this YouTube channel where I have wild guppies, and I comment on that in endlers where they have smaller fins, and I'm partial to those over the floppy, clumsy, like big fins like that. But yeah, with my 40 gallon, maybe the 84 gallon, there is a possibility I could get a betta, like a shorter finned betta, just to add as a community tank. But all right, so the plants. What I'm going to do, like different this time than the previous unboxing video, I'm going to do them one by one. Last time I took them all out, and as I was struggling to take them out of the pots and peel off the wool and trying to be careful not to break the stems in the process, or the roots in the process, they started drying up. So instead, this time I'm going to do them one by one, and then I'll show you them as I put them in my aquarium. Alright, so stand by. Alright, well, I decided to do not stick with the original plan, but we're going to do something else. Instead of going through each plant one by one and taking up too much time, I'm going to at least plant one of these and show the CRINUM planted, because this is the highlight of the whole thing. I mean, you know, again, the reason why I ended up with all of these plants. So I'm going to plant one of these. We'll leave the other one in a pot, because it'll go in my 40 gallon for now in the pot until I get my 84 gallon, and probably leave these in there as well. So if you happen to see my previous video, I was talking about the pot. So this is actually going to be a good thing to have the pots, because I'm just going to leave them in the tanks. But I mentioned how I don't really like receiving plants in pots, because you have to peel off the wool and try to be super careful peeling out the roots, and you're going to break them in the process and all that. But yeah, well, anyway, and I have some easy root tabs, not from this order but from a previous order, so I'm going to put some of these in there. I just made sure I have these, could find them, and then I'm going to put, as I plant this in there. Well, anyway, I'm going to pause this, and then next we're going to see that in the tank. Alright, so this is the 40 gallon breeder tank that I just set up recently. So I have some of the plants from the previous Aquarium Co-Op plant order in here, and the ones that I just got now. So with the two CRINUM Calamistratums, I planted one right here. then 3 root tabs around it. So of the two, this one is the better of the two. I'm going to save that for the 84 gallon because that's going to be my main display tank, and you know that this one has a little bit of brown leaves, but this will still be the feature plant of this tank, so right in the middle. Yeah, so I have a bit of a dilemma. I was going to go to my local fish store. I was planning to do that to get some rocks, some hardscape. I already have some Sarayu stone, however you pronounce that, I'm not sure. But I was going to check out what they have to get an idea of what, between this and the 84 gallon and other tanks, like what I can do with hardscape. But then I ended up ordering a ton of Sarayu stone online, so I'm not going to have that for a week. But I would have wanted to have the rocks in here first and plant the plants around them, but that was another thing. I learned of that deal on the rocks today while this was in transit to be delivered to arrive today. So, but anyway, CRINUM's right here. That's the only one planted of the new order that I got. This is the Scarlet Temple plant, the red melon sword, and the dwarf hairgrass, dwarf chain sword. That's the that clover type plant, and so I'll do a follow-up video where I show some of these planted. I know these are going to go, the dwarf chain sword and the hairgrass in each corner here. As I mentioned, when I set this tank up, I have a bottom layer of Eco Complete, but just one 20-pound bag. I mean, that's not enough to fill the whole 40 gallon, but I strategically set up so in the back, like heavily concentrated over here where the sword plant would be for the root feeding plants, and jungle val here. Those are the ones I got from the previous Aquarium Co-Op order. And then I came around, I had concentrated right here and right here, and so that's where these root feeding plants will go. Nothing in the center, so that's why I put the root tabs in here. I mean, at the time when I set up the tank, I didn't think I'd be able to get the chance to get a CRINUM CALAMISTRATUM for this tank. And then this melon sword, that's going to go in the 84 gallon anyway, so I'll just leave it in the pot in this tank until I get that tank set up. And then I'll plant. This is a stem plant, so it doesn't really matter as far as like a planted substrate, so I'll just put that wherever. This I don't think is even going to be staying in this tank, but I'll show you what I do with that later. And this is the Pogostemon stellatus octopus, some stem right there and some behind here that was in the previous Aquarium Co-Op order. So I have it here because I want it to grow up and over and hang over this mopani wood right here. These are a couple stems of the Brazilian pennywort from the previous order, and that Amazon sword came from that, and the jungle val. And I already had, there's a Crypticorn lutea in the back that I already had propagated from another tank, and some Java fern. I wedged in a little Java fern windowlive right there that I already had. That's a little tiny piece of willow high grow, Trigophylla angustifolia. And I have some of that behind here. Behind there too. Oh yeah, that's it right there. And some little piece of water sprite, and that's water wisteria that was floating in another tank, kind of grown weird, but as it was like bouncing around in the flow. But maybe now that it's stationary there, it can grow up good. But yeah, all right. So yeah, I am pleased with these plants and this order. I mean, I'm super psyched to get the CRINUM CALAMISTRATUM. I feel like I'm lucky that I found that those were available and I got the chance to get them while they were. All right. Well, that's it for now. And remember, I'm Jeff, and I enjoy fishies. Thanks for watching.